everybody, this is Chad the Gaming Dad here, back again, and I'm finally kind of getting settled in here at the new place. As you can see, I got a lot of things all set up here in my game room, sort of the retro area that I have set up with all my old stuff. Really, it's all the best stuff. We'll get into that here in a second. Honestly, as I sit here, I have a pile of PlayStation 3 games behind me and off to the side because I'm in process of trying to go through and make sure that they are all loaded onto the hard drive and that they are all updated, because as you know, beginning with the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, that's really when things started going toward the online and all of those things where games were constantly patched. A lot of games came out and were in a state that you couldn't even play them, or they'd have a lot of bad errors or things like that until the patch came out. So if you don't have the patch and you play the game, you know, there's a good chance that there's something wrong going to happen. In fact, even after the patch is there, there's still a really good chance that something isn't going to be correct with those games because it's kind of how they are. And today it's even worse. Once you get into the PS4 and into the Xbox One and now into the next generation with the PS5 and the Series X, everything is basically sold as quickly as they possibly can and then updated, fixed, patched later, etc. So that brings me kind of to the reason why I'm currently trying to update everything I can on this PlayStation 3, because I've got so many games on there that I like, so many games that are in my backlog that I never actually finished, because you know how I work. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, I'm the kind of guy that gets into stuff and gets out of it almost just as fast. I put a few hours into each game, and I've played them all a little bit, but played very few of them all the way through. So one of these days, I would like to do that. And with the way games are going these days, I'm probably going to wind up playing the PS3 a lot more than what I'm going to be playing brand new stuff in the future. I don't have a PS5, and I'm okay with that. Right now, I'm okay with that. Maybe someday I'll want one, or maybe my kids will talk me into getting one someday. My son really loves games, so there's a chance he might try to get me to get him one. But for me, personally, I like to hang on to my games. I like to be able to play them later on down the road if something just like, you know, you watch a video, you hear about something, whatever, you want to just pull it out of your library of games and play it. So anyway, recent news has come out. PlayStation hasn't been doing so great recently as far as the news goes. They keep just, I don't know, they're not doing so hot. First, they had some news about the PS4 and that if the battery that's inside of it dies and there is no PSN network anymore to support it, that games won't work, including disc-based games, not just digital, because somehow it's tied into trophies and things like that. You might want to look up some more detailed videos, but that's the gist of it, is because everything is tied to trophies, and the trophies are tied to the clock that's inside that thing in order to make sure that there isn't cheating or whatever, because it's oh so important if someone cheats and gets a trophy. I mean, I don't care, but some people do. I enjoy getting a trophy from time to time, but I have never played a game and done things in a game strictly to get a trophy. I haven't done anything in a game that I otherwise wouldn't have wanted to do to get one. It's kind of neat when they pop up. That's about all it is for me. But for some people, they chase down the trophies and they want them to be legit, so the trophies are tied to the clock. So here's the deal. If the clock is reset to 0 because the battery dies or it's replaced, you know, in the meantime they take the battery out and the clock is reset, it has to log in and be able to talk to the PlayStation Network in order to make sure that the clock is set correctly, and then the trophies work again, and then the games work again. Well, the other recent news from PlayStation is that the PS3 and the Vita, things like that, they are shutting down all servers pretty soon. I'm not again, watch another video if you want more detailed news. This is just sort of an update from me. But they're going to shut down the support for the PS3 and other things like the Vita pretty soon. And at that point, we will be in the situation that the PS4 will be in eventually. Now, I don't think the PS3 trophies are linked to the games the same way as the PS4. I haven't heard that yet. But what I did hear was that some of these patches and some of these things may not be available. There are already certain games that when you put them in won't pull a patch. They won't notify the network that it needs a patch. So when they shut down support for the store and all of that stuff, it looks like there's a chance they may be shutting down support for everything, including the patches, which are essential for these games to actually work correctly. Even single player. I mean, heck, most of these games that I have some kind of multiplayer in them, and they all have downloadable content because that was all the rage during that period of time with games. But you're not going to be able to go download things that you previously bought if you haven't currently downloaded them, because the store will be gone, the support will be gone. All these things are making me a little nervous, so I'm going through. It's taken forever. I don't know if any of you out there have had an issue with a PS3 before, where if you have to back it up and then restore it. The PS3, I don't know what's wrong with it or what's inside there that makes it this way, but it is the slowest piece of hardware I've ever had to deal with. I have really fast internet at home here and everything, but that doesn't matter because the system itself is just slow as could be. It really is. Even when it's just installing, like right now, it's been installing a game off of a disc, you know, the part that it has to install. It's been going for like 5 to 10 minutes and it's still not done. The game says it's 12 gigabytes that it's trying to do. Here, look, it's this one. Splinter Cell Blacklist. This is the one that's currently being updated right now. And before I even started this video, a few minutes before I started even working on this video, I put that in and it's at 88% right now. And on the back here it says 12 gigabytes. You probably can't read that, but believe me, it says 12 gigabytes is the install size. Anyway, that's a pretty cool game, and I would like to play it again someday. And I might have gone about halfway through at one point, and I'd like to do the other half. And so the only way for me to be able to do that is to make sure that the patches are there, that the game is loaded, that there's nothing else that I need from their server, because they might just go poof, and it's all gone. And all the money and all the games that you bought and all the stuff that you want to play, things that you like, nostalgia and all that stuff, you just won't be able to play it. At least you won't be able to play it on a PS3. Heard there's some emulators out there that are getting better and better, and other ways that people pirate games and things like that. I try not to do that. As you can see, I've got piles of games around me and everything. I buy lots of stuff. Why they're doing this, I have no idea, other than the obvious reason, which is they just don't want to pay for it anymore. And they're looking at this as an old piece of hardware, and yeah, it's kind of old, but there's a lot of people out there that really like it. I mean, I still like to go to secondhand shops or things like that and find games that I never really tried before that are for these systems, because they're, honestly, they're really fun. I've actually, while I've been loading these games, I can't remember exactly which ones they are. I've done so many of them already, but there were certain games where I had to turn them on, launch the game so that it would fire off this install of the game as well as getting the patch and everything. And then when they came up, I found myself playing them, and what do you know? It's like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot. I'm trying to load these games and I'm not here to play games. So they pull me in. I like them. And I don't think that it's because the new games are bad. You know, my tagline, I always say you never outgrow video games. I don't think that you outgrow wanting to play video games, but I'm getting to the point now where I think the new video games are outgrowing me, or I'm just too old or whatever. These games that are on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, the games that were on the original Xbox, the GameCube, PS2, PS1, and earlier, all that stuff, I was the target audience. I was the right age. I was the right, you know, social situation, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I was either in high school or in college or just out of college and starting my first couple of jobs. That's the core main audience for most of these games. And so I think maybe what's happening is that nobody's outgrowing anything. It's just that these games were made for me. They were targeted at me, and I still like them because I was their audience. The new games, the stuff that's out right now, everything is tied to the internet. I mean, I have my kids, they can't do anything in their whole life without being tied to the internet. It's kind of crazy, but it's no different than if you look behind me here, I got the CRT. There are certain games that were built to be displayed on that and not on a new TV. So that's why you keep one of these around, because when you plug in something old, it looks better on the screen that it was intended to be shown on. And so I think sometimes these older games strike a chord more with me than some of the new ones maybe, because I was who they were intended for. I show my kids some of these old games and they're like, that's old, that's not cool. You know, certain old games they do like, but just to pick up any old thing and I show it to them, they're like, those graphics are terrible. And I remember back when those graphics were the best, when they were the best thing ever. So, anyways, it looks like it may have finally loaded Splinter Cell. Here, you come with me. We'll take a look. There, look. Finally, Splinter Cell has loaded. And so, that game's pretty fun. I might, I don't know. I might just go ahead and play that for a little while. But anyway, that's the update. I just wanted to let all you guys out there know that I am getting close to being back in action here on YouTube. And I'm thinking about a few things as far as doing some reviews. Kind of have a new idea. If you watched this long in this video, you might as well. You're the ones I need to ask, people that like to watch the channel. I'm thinking of doing reviews, but not like a full review, because as a gaming dad, and if you're out there, gaming parents or whatever, people that are, you know, got a full-time career and all that stuff, you don't have time to complete every game you play. And going back into some of this old stuff, back into this old PlayStation games and things, I'm thinking of a type of video where I'm just going to basically call it something like, I'll give it an hour. And what I'll do is I'll sit down with a game that I haven't played in a long time, turn on my capture device, turn the game on, start playing it, and play it for a solid hour, take some notes on what I liked, what I didn't like, and let you guys know whether or not I think you should go ahead and play it, if it's worth going past the first hour, or if enough of it has been seen in the first hour that it's time to go. So that's something that I'm thinking about doing. I just have to kind of decide what titles I would like to do. So if you have any requests, if you have any suggestions for games, let's just start with the PS3 since I'm already trying to load everything here. If you got any old PS3 games that, or 360, they're on both. I may have it on one or the other, but let me know some of those generation type games that maybe you'd like me to try to do a video where I give it an hour and let you know what I think, and see if we can get something going there, because I don't know, I got to try to think of something new to do videos on. I love doing the fun or run, and honestly I think that the hour long play and then tell you how it is going to be kind of along the lines of the fun or run, but I got to think of something new to do, because I don't know, I only have so much time, and I would like to make some videos and talk about games and have some fun playing stuff and have some fun talking with you guys out there in the comments and everything. I don't know, some ideas I had. But anyways, that's what we got until now. So if you have a PS3 or a PS4, you better make sure you got your hard drives in order and you get all your updates downloaded and you get all your games loaded in there, because you never know when Sony's going to pull the plug. And if they do, boy, I would hate to have this stack of games just sit there only to collect dust for the rest of time instead of being able to be played. That's a real concern. So keep an eye out for that, guys. But till next time, like always, remember, you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one. So long, everybody. Hey, thanks everybody for sticking with me and watching the entire video. I hope you liked it. The best way to help out the channel is to leave a like, leave a comment, and tell your friends. If you'd like to support the channel further, there are links in the description. But otherwise, always remember that you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and we'll see you on the next one. So long, everybody.